week since my last video and my little babies are growing so big. It has been a week, like I said. And these are all my carrots and then my rose spinach. Only 2 of my spinach has popped up. So I'm wondering, should I just go ahead and put in another seed? Don't know. Maybe wait a couple more days, see if anything pops up, because even the carrots, there's still a couple that doesn't have anything, and there's a couple that have 2 in each one. So I think we'll just go ahead and plant the ones that we wanted to plant in the other half. And that's my tomatoes and some more spinach. And I'm also gonna do some marigolds. From all the research that I've looked into, marigolds are really good for planting next to your tomatoes and other, well, just about any plant in general, because it invites all the good predator type insects and things, and they eat up or kill all the bad ones like your aphids and stuff that you don't want on your garden plants. So we're going to be planting some of those with everything that we have going on. So tomatoes. I'm going to do some Roma. Not many. I'll probably just do a line of Roma tomatoes just to kind of get going. And even though it's only a 1/2 inch deep, I am just gonna kind of throw them in there and not really cover them up, because they're only supposed to be like 1/4 inch deep. So we're just gonna toss them in and kind of just ever so gently, not all the way in. Kind of barely cover them, and then we'll spritz it with water. Okay, that one fell in deep, so I'm just not even gonna cover it up. Same with that one. When I mist these with water, they'll kind of self-cover themselves anyway. A little tip that I had never heard of before, but I will pass along, is with tomatoes, especially if you're collecting your own seeds, you want to throw them in the freezer for at least 24 hours and then bring them back to room temperature, because they need to go through like a frost state or freeze state to kind of go into hibernation or whatever, and then come back out of it. So these are some seeds that I actually collected myself. I went to a farmer's market back in August last year, and they had some really pretty like purple heirloom tomatoes. And so I went ahead and purchased one, and 1/2 of the seeds I collected and dried them out myself. So we'll do a line of those as well. So I did have these tomato seeds in my freezer before I got started here, and I just pulled them out. I don't know if they necessarily got to room temperature, but I think it'll be fine. Moving on to our spinach, we'll do another row of those. I really hope that the marigolds turn out, because I'm super excited to have some flowers. I've already been outside a few different times and I'm seeing all kinds of bees, so I'm happy about that. Wow, these are cool. Not the kind of seed that I would think of, but it's like almost as if it's like a dried petal. It's very neat. It says 1/4 inch deep, but if I stand it up and in, I wonder if that'll be enough. I'm just gonna fill the remaining cells with my marigolds, because I want them all around my garden when time comes anyway. So we'll just fill it full. hope for the best. When these guys are mature and everything, I will figure out how to collect the seeds, and then I won't have to buy them again next year. I'm all about seed collecting, you guys. If you can collect your own seeds, then you should. Might be a little something different each year, but that's okay. Unless you're looking for a very specific type, just collect your seeds each year. They might be a little different each year that you plant because it would be the child of the previous plant, but I think go for it. Because since you get pollinated from all the other plants, the bees do all the pollinating and other insects and birds and what have you. You never know what you're going to get the following year. If it's going to be exactly what you planted because it's going from plant to plant, or it's going to be somewhat of a surprise because it's bringing pollen from a different plant. So, especially since I have these specific heirloom tomatoes, and then I'm going to have Roma tomatoes. Sure, they might not be planted like right next to each other in the garden, but if a bee comes to one and then it goes to the other one, it's cross-pollinating those tomatoes. So if I collect the seeds from that specific tomato, it could be a mix of both for next year. So we shall see how it goes. All planted, we've got our flowers, we got our spinach, and both of our tomatoes. And we'll see what they look like next week. These should be a lot bigger, obviously, because they got planted first. And I'll check here in the next few days. If these don't pop up, then I'll go ahead and throw some more seeds on that side, as well as the carrots. So, fingers crossed.